Today is Saturday, July 11th. Let's take a look at a full-length dressing mirror made entirely out of recycled materials, predominantly pallet wood. That is some lettering off of an old wooden crate. I think it says Sunsweet prunes or raisins, and that product of USA. That bottom board is a piece of barn board, and it was a gentleman I'm friends with dismantled an old barn, and I got some of the lumber. And most of this is pallet wood, and most of it's maple. And there's a piece of white oak in the middle there. Maple on the sides. A couple pieces of cherry. That is some lettering off of an old 1890s Bissell carpet sweeper. It says gold medal. The smaller word says Psycho. I think it says Psycho ball bearing, but it I trimmed those out and spliced those into the pallets just to give it a little bit of an eclectic look. That is red oak, that weathered board on the side there. I didn't run any of these boards through the planer. I sanded them, but I didn't want to take away the character of the wood. That right there is a little bit of a mistake. Right here. Putting these joints this close together. I've laid a lot of hardwood flooring, and normally you want to stagger your joints, maybe make them 8 inches apart. But got to live with it. The sides are also maple. A buddy of mine has a circular sawmill. I've got a band sawmill, but I like those old circular saw marks. And when I sanded the board down, I left most of them in there. But he and I trade off lumber. And, this is the finish I use. This is one of my favorite finishes for raw lumber. It's called cutting board oil, also known as butcher block oil. You can buy it at Menards or Home Depot. And it's one of the easiest finishes to apply. You just pour it on, brush it on, wipe it on. Wait a few minutes and then rub off the excess. The nice thing about it is that it's a very soft luster. It doesn't have that high gloss look. The high gloss look, like with polyurethane, gives it a little bit of a plasticky look. Makes it look a little bit cheaper. And this almost looks like there's no finish on it at all. I'm going to turn this around so I'll show you the back side of it in a minute. Frankie, stick around. Come on, Frankie. Frankie, come here. Dimensions are 40 by 80. And I've made several of these. Once in a while, a customer comes to me and goes, "Hey, Dave, I love that mirror, but I've only got like 38 inches to work with." And so I scale it down. But this is my standard size here. Okay, take a look at the back side. I started out with a simple rectangular frame. I think this is about 5.5 inches. I rabbited out a slot for the plywood, and then there's another little rabbit for the mirror glass to set in on the inside. And I always put a plywood backing on mirrors because that mirror finish on the back of mirrors is actually very fragile. And if you scratch it, it shows up on the outside, on the mirror side. Yeah, I put glue blocks up in the corner to reinforce those miter corners. And those ribs are nothing more than that. I think that's about 8 3/8 inches. Made them from little pieces of scrap wood. It's about 22 of them. And that's what gives it that beveled look on the front. And then I just skinned it out with pallet wood. Very simple. You could build this entire thing with a table saw. That's about it. A jointer would help. Bandsaw would come in handy, but yet not necessary. Now the hanging system for it is like this. The top board right here has a bevel on it on the underside, and that's mounted permanently to the mirror. The other board you mount to the wall, and it's got all those holes drilled in it so that they're an inch apart, so you can find 16 on center, find 2 studs. You screw this to the wall, and the mirror hangs on that. This mirror weighs about 95 pounds, so I mean, you could probably find a cable to hold 95 pounds, but I wouldn't trust it. But we'll flip this around and take one more look at the front. A few things I want to show you. But it's actually, if there's any interest in this, I'll go into a little bit more detail about how it went together. But it's actually pretty straightforward, simple construction. Okay. Hey, come on, stick around. One more look at the front. A few things I want to show you. You see this? You can see the inner part of the frame here. And since it was raw wood, I blended some paint that was approximately the color of the boards and kind of camouflaged that exposed edge there. This mirror frame is about 9 inches wide. So 9 times 2, 18. So the mirror glass is about 22 inches wide. Total mirror is 40. And if you stop at garage sales, yard sales, keep your eye open for old wooden crates, beer crates, old pop crates, stuff like that. And if they have lettering on them, old lettering, signage, and what I do is I take them and I splice them in, like you see here, and it just gives it a kind of a neat old eclectic look. This mirror, and because of the finish also, it looks almost like there's no finish on it. It has that kind of stripped down look. And this style, this eclectic, older style goes with a lot of styles. But next week I'm going to show my mid-century modern 3-legged shooting star coffee table. And I also do creative writing. If any of you like to read or write, and I'm going to put about half a dozen of my stories up on Kindle, and I'll always try to put something in the free column. You can go over there, read one of my short stories for free. If you like it, you can buy the other ones for 99 cents. And I like to read. I read myself. I think it's good for your vocabulary, increase your vocabulary. And what you want to do is you want to go onto Kindle. My last name's Lehto, Lehto. Look up Dave Lehto. Lehto is a common Finnish name, and you see there's other Lehtos that are authors out there. And so you punch in Dave Lehto, go to the free column, read one of my short stories, and if you like to read, you can get the other ones for 99 cents. But anyways, that's it for now. You guys stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.